Alright guys, welcome back to Runaway Road Adventure. Okay, so a funny thing here, I actually thought I was recording an episode and spent a good 40 minutes doing the second chapter of the game. So I'm doing this for the second time now, directly after the previous time. Yeah, great. Alright, so here's the quote-unquote crucifix that we need cleaned up. And we need to distract Dr. Oliva somehow.
Have a numbered sticker under them. The number must show what order they're supposed to be restored in. Cool. I'll trade it for the object that's next on the list to be restored.
Yeah, what happened was that I had accidentally put the preview on. All right. So we talked to Dr. Oliva just briefly at the end of the previous episode, and she didn't really tell us anything useful. But basically, the way we distract her is like, you saw her work on the laser. And we need to make her laser just a little bit too powerful, and it'll basically destroy one of those objects.
It's colorless.
Oh boy, so if I seem a little out of it, that's because I literally just finished recording that episode and now realized, well, that blows. But on the bright side, I already know what the hell to do. Okay, so let's take a look at the Clive's office, by the way. So Clive took Gina out for a walk.
Clive have gone on that casual little stroll around the museum. There's no doubt about it. Clive's the same old guy as ever. He'd ignore his own mother to chase after a woman.
Yeah, Clive is a bad dude, as we will learn later on.
There's not
Let's
a
look outside.
soul in the street. Just that munchkin over there.
Now, that's very offensive, Brian. Oh, yeah. And wait a minute, let's wait if that thing happens that happened before. Something happened before when Brian does his little idle animation when he scratches the back of his head. No, I guess it doesn't happen. All right, but you could see the shadow coming through the desk, which is weird.
I was never very interested in this subject.
So we don't actually need these books, but what's underneath them?
Hey, look what was hidden under the books on the table. It's an X-shaped.
All right, so there's obviously a hidden compartment inside the desk, and we need the key.
Kind of looks like a keyhole to open a lock.
Oh yeah, he said it. Okay, but there was one thing actually I forgot to say. So on that other previous Let's Play, that attempted recording of this Let's Play, here's the infamous coffee machine from one of my list videos.
There are different types of coffee: cappuccino, espresso, cafe au lait, ice blended mocha. I think the little red light that's on means it's out of coffee.
And so if we tried to use it, he says,
"Impossible! It's out of coffee!" Yeah,
I love that. The way he says it is very, very Kermit the Frog. Alright, so here we meet Willie, the janitor, and he is quite the character. Let's go talk to him now. It's funny because I thought he's gonna get a phone call in the middle of our conversation. I thought that he only gets the phone call if you say a certain thing, but apparently he does it regardless, so I tried to say something else.
Hello?
Hey! You're a friend of Clive's, aren't you? I saw you come in with him and that hot babe.
Yes, my name is Brian Basco.
Brian? Dude, what a name! Are you a geek or what? I'm Willie. I'm in charge.
Yeah, your name's fucking Willie and you're making fun of him?
You mean maintenance and all that, right?
No, dude. I mean, I'm gonna smack you silly if you don't quit yapping.
Yeah, this is a weird character. I don't know what the hell's up with Willie.
Hot if it wasn't for me. And besides, you should know that I run my own small...
I kept listening to his voice very carefully on the previous recording, and I just cannot get on I just can't get on top of, who is this guy? He sounds so familiar to me.
Here, take one of my cards in case you need any of our fine products.
So he's running a little side hustle. We'll discover what the hell that is. William P. Dustin. Oh boy. That was a missed opportunity. It should have been William B. Dustin, if you know what I mean.
What can you tell me about Dr. Oliva?
Hello?
Yeah, so apparently he gets that phone call regardless of what we say.
Yeah, you know, it's always a pleasure to do business with you.
Okay, I didn't really think about it, but that cell phone is huge. I think that is one of the many things that does betray that this game took a few years in development. Because even by 2003, cell phones were much tinier than that.
Check with the warehouse, okay? Call me back in 10 minutes. Sure. We'll discuss price later.
All right, so now we find out what his
Same to you, Mr. Potter.
little side business is.
Hey, dude, let's drop the small talk. I got other affairs going on. Well, you know how it is. Business is business.
Okay, goodbye.
I love that walk cycle. It's great.
Stairs. Let's see where to. Look at him jive along.
Yeah, these characters in this game just have excellent walk cycles. I really enjoy it. So yeah, his little side hustle is that he's selling lab equipment from the museum.
No way. Willie knows the combination to get into the analysis laboratory. I don't know how he got the combination because I highly doubt he's authorized to go in there. Now I think I know where the laboratory equipment factory that Willie supposedly represents is really located.
Alright, so obviously we need to get into this lab, and we see the number pad here.
This controls access. I should wait for Willie to leave the... It'd be embarrassing.
Alright, so I guess he won't use it then. And the thing is, like, you can look at it, or try to, you can try interacting with the number pad. Yeah, but it doesn't work. And even if you know the right combination, which I do, because let me tell you, just a second, in just a second, what I did on that non-recording that happened. But the thing that you obviously have to do, we picked up that varnish and some talcum powder, so we just slather some friggin' varnish over these.
If I leave a fingerprint behind, it would ruin the entire plan.
Acme security, by the way.
What I have to do is get Willie to enter the combination that opens the door, so his fingerprints are left behind on the right keys.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought. Yeah, the thing is, like, this game does have quite a few, like, inventory. Dialogue-activated puzzles. And I've actually said it, and this is something I've said before many times, is like, I actually prefer adventure games where you don't need to, talk to characters in order to activate puzzles. So the LucasArts method. That's always something I love about LucasArts adventure games. You can just go and solve puzzles. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't even have to learn what your purpose in the game is. Most of the time, there's a few exceptions to the rule, obviously, but generally, with LucasArts adventure games.
That's me.
All right, so now we're making this fake identity as Frank Steger or Steiger. I don't know how you're.
Sure. It's a pleasure to do business with a friend of Mr. Potter's. He's one of my best customers, you know. By the way, your voice sounds familiar. Do we know each other, Mr. Steiger?
No, I don't think so.
Well, anyway...
I think the voice director here did a good job that if he did say Steiger, I think he said Steiger, like Brian said Steiger the first time as well.
Whoa! This must be repeat request night. Seems like everyone's looking for the same thing.
Come again?
Nothing, Mr. Steiger. Just running off.
Because I've seen that happen in some video games, and even some cartoons, where two characters pronounce the same character's name like completely differently.
200, huh? Well, I'll have to check the warehouse. Call me back in 10 minutes and I'll tell you if we have any in stock.
Okay, talk to you soon then.
Talk to you soon, Mr. Steiger.
He's coming up now.
So we'll obviously not call him back, but yeah, now he goes and presses the keypads. And here's the thing, when you try to solve the combination, like Brian keeps humming the tile tones. But frankly, it really doesn't help. Like maybe if you look at that finger combination, but it looked like he pressed the 3 first, which I know for a fact isn't the right first key. So we go back into the lab and we come out of the lab, and now we use the talcum powder, on it.
Perfect. Now I can tell which keys have Willie's fingerprints on them and guess the combination. I'll only dust the keys that have varnish on them. Cool. Now I can tell Willie's fingerprints apart from mine, no problem.
It's funny that Willie didn't notice this, by the way.
Powder on it. So now I can press the keys without having to worry about erasing the fingerprints. The numbers that make up the code are 1, 3, 7, and 8. All I have to do is figure out the right combination. If I remember right.
Yeah, so here he goes with the explanation. And he hums it too, though it doesn't, but it's really stupid. So the thing with this is that I actually did, have the combination written down in the manual for my physical copy of this game that I still do have. Unfortunately, it's like nowhere near, like I would have to go looking for it, and I was looking over my papers, trying to figure out, like, let's see, do I have it, like, written down on some old notes, and I couldn't find it, so I literally just started going through every combination, because you can go, like, every combination that starts with either 1-3 or 1-7 or 1-8, and then all the combinations with 3-1, 3-7, 3-8. And I went through all the 1s, 3s, and 7s, and this is the right combination, so it's 8-1-3-7.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's actually, even if you have it written down, you do have to do this part where Willie goes and presses the keypad. If you try, there's like a fail state that you can't cheat by just putting in the the right combination by sheer luck. Yeah, and another first aid cabinet that we can't get into. All right, because of course I was talking about that as well. Like, it's really funny. Like, they really do not want us to get into the medicine cabinets in the game.
An old key or something. Maybe I'll find a place to use it. Well, how about that? There was a note under it. Let's see. Clive, here is the ancient Aztec key, all clean and polished like you requested. Next time, don't wait so long before having it cleaned. It was disgustingly filthy.
Alright, so this key is a big clue, and here is so somebody called Ron cleaned it. I was actually thinking about, is that a reference to Ron Gilbert? And inside, here's the Son of Uzitza that we were talking about earlier. Alright, so now we'll leave because there's actually nothing we can do in this lab, but this key obviously goes in the hole that's on the in the crack here, so let's go use it on that.
Yes! I bet the key fits perfectly. Aha!
I mean, I think I should be happy in a way that the first recording didn't happen in a weird way, because I saved myself a lot of trouble editing that friggin' episode, but still. Okay, so there's some money here.
I suppose Clive keeps it there in case of an emergency.
And there's some papers in here.
Looks like a bunch of documents and stuff.
And then there's a device, and this is what I was talking about previously, like how the objects kind of like merge together. And it says it's a voice recorder, which is really weird, and because you look at it, it's clearly a tape recorder. So this, I think, kind of, this and that size of that like cell phone kind of does betray that this game was maybe a few years in development, because okay, I'm not entirely sure if MP3 like recorders were a thing yet. MP3 players were definitely a thing by the time this game was coming out. But yeah, there's a couple of things about the game that haven't aged so well. Like Munchkin Bob is another good example. If I try to take the money...
No, I'd never steal money from anyone. Especially not a good friend. No way! I can't take Clive's private documents.
Alright, so he really is a good guy, Brian, if you will. So to speak. Yeah, I love this part of the game, by the way, because, there's one more room I haven't actually shown. Oh, let's go. And yeah, you can actually double-click out of, yeah. It's weird that this museum is like both a natural history museum and a paleontology museum, or like a human historical museum, if you will. Paleontology, of course, is the field of studying human behavior. Archaeology, I think, is specifically the art of digging up old stuff.
I don't know much about art, but this all looks amazing.
Alright, we don't need to come here quite yet. We'll come here on the second half. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was talking about, like, Brian's butt. Like, Brian has a really nice butt. Like, I usually, like, compliment the adventure game ladies for their nice butts. Alright, but now Brian actually has the combination. But yeah, I'm not above admitting that Brian has a very nice butt as well. Alright, okay. So there's this thing, by the way, I didn't show this.
Take a peek. I know it can't be opened manually. I think you have to push that button over there to open it.
Yeah. It feels like I'm rushing a little bit now because this is the second time around I'm doing this.
Please state your name for the voice identification system.
Brian Basco.
Name invalid. Access denied.
I don't think I'll get it to open that way.
What were those other names, by the way? I actually didn't read them.
Please state your name for the voice identification system.
Susan, Oliver, William P. Dustin, Clive. Oh, Clive, yes!
Susan Oliva.
Name invalid. Access denied.
I don't think I'll get it to open that way.
Alright, so that's why we would need the voice recorder for, obviously. So, we need to get Susan Oliva to say her name. Oh, oops, I clicked that by accident. I don't know why I keep getting that wrong because, you know, the lab is like literally next door to that vault.
Excuse me, Doctor. Could you tell me your name again?
Dr. Susan Oliva. It's marked clearly on the door.
Alright. That seemed very, very easy, didn't it? Well, have I got news for you, buddy? This is really funny. I love this. I love that what happens here.
All right. Let's see if the plan works.
Please state your name for the voice identification system.
Dr. Susan.
Name invalid. Access denied.
What in the world? Oh, the battery went dead right when I needed it. I'll take the battery out of the tape recorder. Gotta find a battery with some power.
Like, this is the, I think the dumbest thing in this game is like, really, Brian, you can't run to the fucking 7-Eleven and buy some AA batteries? Alright. And I don't know... Okay, if you look at this, so there's liquid nitrogen here. And if I use this on it...
No! I don't want to freeze my hand off. I need to use something to get the battery into the tank without putting myself or my hand...
Alright, so he does give you a hint there. It's weird that I don't remember if I've known this thing about like how you can freeze batteries to get a little bit of life out of them. But there's obviously this ladle here. I didn't go pick it up because I kind of wanted to stop myself because I didn't know if there was a clue. But that clearly is a clue. Like, if you go desperate enough, you just start trying objects on objects, like, that will eventually, like, come up. It's like, we got this ladle. Ladle, we're gonna make some soup. Not really.
Perfect. Fits like a glove.
Like a glove. Alright, and we put it in there.
Well, this is a good opportunity to check whether you can restore some of a dead battery's energy.
Because I think Mythbusters did do an episode on this, and this does work. It doesn't, like, restore the energy. I think it just improves the conductivity of the battery, and that's the thing, how it works.
The battery is definitely frozen. I hope it'll make the tape recorder run now.
Alright. It does, by the way, in case you were suspicious. At least in this game.
Voila! I hope the recorder will work.
Although, even though this is clearly a tape recorder, it doesn't look like there's a tape inside, though. That's another weird thing.
I hope the battery lasts long enough.
Please state your name for the voice identification system.
Dr. Susan Oliva.
Identification verified. Good evening, Dr. Oliva. Please remember that the chamber will automatically close in 30 seconds.
Alright, and now we go grab.
It worked.
Oh, I hadn't looked at it.
Do this, but I've already had to do so many other crazy things tonight.
Oh, come on, take it. It's in your jeans.
Once it's outside the
Or is he wearing jeans? Yeah, but you're an adventure gamer. Like, kleptomania is in your jeans, if you will. Alright, and if you look at this...
The way it's shaped, it'd be a spiffy bottle opener.
Yeah, this is the thing we took off the shelf to replace it with the crucifix. And of course we used it to take out the diamond. Like, this is lovely. This is such traditional, like, adventure game stuff. Like, this kind of... I love this, and it's so effortless, too. Like sometimes with these new age, newfangled adventure games, like, okay, this isn't that new. Like, it came out, like I said, it came out in 2003. But it really feels like its own thing. Like, it doesn't feel like it's ripping off, like... Oh, there are some, like, obvious movie references here, sure. But it doesn't, like, feel like it's ripping off, like, too many ideas from pre-existing adventure games. And I love the fact that you're just doing these kind of criminal shit. You're just stealing stuff from the museum. And you're about to vandalize some historical artifact here.
This one in place of the one that's already there.
By the way, I tried doing the thing using the hand icon on the laser. It doesn't work.
This will make the laser beam much more powerful.
And I think I commented that
Come and use the laser.
that is maybe like this game's flaw. It's not unique to this game, but this game is kind of particular that you have to use items in a specific way on each other in order for them to work. Oh, and I love what happens here. Alright. So he gave the laser a bit more focus, and it got too powerful.
My heart goes out to the good doctor, but there was nothing else I could do.
I need an iced mocha now.
There's a lot more you could have done, Brian. Are you kidding me? I love that she's like smoking 3 cigarettes.
Doctor, you gotta snap out of it. Anyone can make a mistake.
I've worked in this field for 20 years and I've never damaged one thing. Not one crack, I tell you. Not a scrape. Nothing. Until today, that is. I need an iced mocha now. My hands aren't what they used to be anymore. I couldn't even peel an almond if I had to.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Like, can you peel an almond, really? Okay. So, we had to get her coffee. But the coffee machine, of course. Let's listen to it again.
Impossible! It's out of coffee!
I love that. That is just one of my favorites. I used that, yes, because this is the puzzle that I featured in one of my favorite adventure game puzzles videos. This is the coffee making puzzle. And I love this. Let's ask Willie about it.
Hey man, how's it going?
Because we did actually talk to Willie a lot now.
I noticed the coffee machine upstairs is out of coffee.
Yeah, it went dry this afternoon.
When are you gonna refill it?
Listen man, don't be so demanding. Yesterday, I put the last package left in the storeroom, so I can't do anything about it right now.
Well, I could sure use a cup of joe. Isn't there anything you can do to get it to make just one more cup?
Just one more cup? Of course.
Yeah, love this.
You can go up to it and softly whisper. Nice little machine. Couldn't you serve me one more cup of coffee, please? I'm telling you, no.
Willie's a dick.
It's out of coffee.
More ways than one.
It's all that crazy Dr. Oliva's fault. She is one sick lunatic. She must put away 20 iced mochas a day. No wonder she's so edgy all the time, the old bat.
All right, so now let's leave Willie be, but we'll talk to him plenty now because okay, so where are we gonna get coffee? Like again, I feel like if Brian just ran to a 7-Eleven, it would resolve this whole situation. So we look at these Mayan objects, and oh boy, look at this shit.
Hey, that bowl there has something that looks a lot like coffee in it. I'm grabbing it.
I'm grabbing it.
Full of awesome coffee.
Oh my god, like seriously, like I question the logic of this so much. Like, it's one thing, like you know, would a museum actually like have real coffee beans? Because I don't know how fast coffee beans spoil. I'm sure they do spoil, but how fast? And would they really put them just on display? All right, and let's show them to Willie.
Willie, here's some coffee so you can refill the machine upstairs.
I don't know, dude. That doesn't look like coffee to me. Anyway, those are coffee beans, and that stupid machine ain't gonna work with nothing.
First of all, he says he's not sure if it's coffee, and now he says it's coffee beans. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, so let's go to the lab. We have to grind these. So you remember that there was this lathe that she was working with, obviously, so that's what we use. I love this. Like, you're in the middle of the night, you're stealing fucking artifacts, you've just destroyed a valuable one by putting a powerful crystal into a laser. You rummage through a secret safe. Now you're making fucking coffee.
Like magic.
I just love the absurdity of this. This is the reason this is one of my favorite like adventure game puzzles ever. And in a weird, because the main thing is, it's not the fact that you're doing this weird shit. It's the fact that it makes sense. In some weird, demented way, this all just makes sense. You know.
Willie, here's some coffee so you can refill the machine upstairs.
Dude, are you sure this crud is coffee?
Yeah, of course it's good coffee. I buy it in bulk.
No, man, I'll pass. It's not that I don't trust you, dude, but I don't want any trouble. I'd rather use the Java I normally pick up for the machine, in case I get busted.
Yeah. Okay, so Willie's not a complete idiot, so, you know. So, here comes the last part of the puzzle, and this is kind of gross.
There's something inside. Let's take a look. It's an empty package of coffee.
Alright, so we pick up the...
Alright. It may be just what I need.
Although, if you try to grab it before you're at this part in the puzzle, Brian actually won't take it. So, there are certain limiters, so you do have to, like,
Okay. Start
get to a certain point in the game. Which is like what I said before about, like,
Now it looks like a brand new...
about, like, you know, when you have to inspect bags and shit in this game, like, you do have to, like, get to a certain point in the game. And it's not like I have anything against, like, dialogue-activated puzzles, but one of the things I really like about it, especially the way LucasArts usually does it, is, it's just when I make, like, videos on adventure games and things, it just makes it much easier to, like, video capture them, because I can get past certain points in the game so much quicker. So, that's one thing. And also, like, you get stuck... I notice I get stuck a lot less easily in games where there are no dialogue-activated puzzles, because that's the thing. It always comes down to, in those kinds of games, oh, I forgot to talk to this guy about something, or I didn't notice this little detail that the character has to look at before you can solve the puzzle. So this game is, like, nicely straightforward, and like I said, the main thing I do actually think is a good thing with the dialogue is that you never get lost.
Yeah, baby, this is right on time. See? Now I don't have to go out tomorrow and buy some. I'm gonna go...
I love this guy. You know, Willie is really funny. I love his shoes, too. Those big floppy red shoes of his.
Character. Well, let's see if I can finally take this rich aromatic coffee to the doctor. I'll just wait one little moment so Willie has time to refill the machine.
Yeah, that's a really funny... Yeah, really funny sound effects there. I love how they just kind of, like, coordinated themselves. But Brian goes that way. Yeah. I think this was where I noticed Brian's butt, actually, last time. Because you have to look at him, like, walking away. Yeah. That was the thing about Siberia. Like, I didn't like that game, but...
It's working now.
You know,
The red light is off.
Kate does have a nice butt. Because you're staring at it for a really long time in that game. Because, like, that game is, like, 70%, like, just running between locations. Maybe even 90%. There is not a lot to Siberia, and I really... That's one of the main reasons I didn't like it. Siberia 3 is a little bit better. And Kate still has a nice butt in that. That's the important part.
Here, Doctor. Have some coffee. It'll make you feel better.
And now the cigarettes disappear.
Now, that's
Oh, no, they didn't.
Come on, you can start working again now that you've calmed down. We wouldn't want the Mayan exhibition to be canceled because you didn't finish your work, would we now?
Of course not. I'll get to work immediately, and no one's gonna stop me this time. Not even the feds.
I love that. Alright, and here come Gustav and Fyodor. There's a great little conversation here.
Munchkin Bob, I see you haven't grown much in the past few years.
If it ain't Gustav, my one-eyed pal. It looks like the eye they ripped out of you hasn't grown back either.
Careful, Bob. Don't tempt me. Let's just get down to business. They're still in that dumb museum, right?
I don't know why he had to specify dumb museum.
We can wait here until they come out and grab them.
Without the car, they could have escaped in some other direction. Nah, I won't run the risk of having them get away again. Let's go after them. You wait here, Bob, and watch to see if the cops show up.
Okay, Gustav. Whatever you say.
Well, I had to leave the doctor alone so she could pay full attention to restoring the crucifix. But it's been a while now, and being as enthused as she was after drinking that coffee, I'm sure the crucifix is all finished. So, I'm going in. Man, it looks like the doctor's...
Yeah, it's hanging from her hand.
But I see she managed to finish restoring the crucifix. Excellent. It certainly needed polishing.
Alright, and now we're already getting a little hint here that maybe this thing isn't a crucifix
Well, I'm
after
sure we
all.
can find out where it came from and what it's for.
So now we get to
I
use
better go to the
that,
lab right away and use the scanner to check out the crucifix.
yeah, the scanner in the other lab, or the... Alright, and here comes Here we get to see that the bad guys really don't mess around in this game.
Weird night. Are you guys friends of Clive's too? First came that hot babe with Brian the Dweebman.
Brian the Dweebman.
Of course. He may be a nerd, but he's a nice guy. And now you guys, man. By the way, what are those get-ups you're wearing, man?
Oh dear. Goodbye, Willie. Also, that is total overkill. Like, they shot him, and he threw a knife at him.
I can figure out how to work the fancy scanner.
Yeah, I just love this. Like I said, I actually like the chapter after this also is great. Oh yeah, old school windows. Love it. This is so lovely looking. I sometimes really miss like old windows like this.
So, the crucifix is of Hopi origin. The Hopi are a Native American tribe that lives in Arizona. Great. That is an important piece of information, but I'm starting to understand this whole story less and less.
Don't worry, it'll get more clear.
Valuable at all. And even though it's probably of some historical value, it'd never be worth killing people over. There must be something else behind the story of this crucifix.
Brian, quick, follow me. It's Gina. She's in danger. I'm sorry, Brian. No! You told me you wouldn't hurt me if I handed it over to you. No!
Yeah, Clive was a dick.
This is when things got really out of control. Luckily, those guys were interested in knowing what we'd found out. Otherwise, I doubt they'd have let us live. Of course, that blow to the head knocked me out, and I didn't know what was going on for quite a while. When I came to, I realized that we were flying in a helicopter. My head ached and pounded, and when Gina told me what happened to Clive, well, I felt absolutely awful to know they'd done away with him. I couldn't stop thinking that if I hadn't gone to the museum that night, he'd still be alive. I did my best to get over it, and decided that feeling sorry for him would get us nowhere. The sad truth was that I'd have the same fate as Clive if I didn't come up with a plan. The instinct for survival and a desire for revenge took over my thoughts. I totally forgot about Clive.
Good thing, too. He was a dick.
I could see we were landing in a desert area in the middle of what looked like an old oil field. We were taken out of the helicopter and put inside of an old cabin. It was pretty obvious they were mainly interested in Gina. As soon as we got in the cabin...
Yeah, this next chapter I really, really like.
They put me to sleep once again.
And we'll end it after this cutscene, and there's still quite a bit. We actually get to see where Brian is. And it also, Brian gets like more and more disheveled as the game goes on, and quite, kind of, gets rid of his like nerdy self a little bit, if you will. In the second game, it goes really extreme. He's really turned into a bit of a douchebag. I love this animation here. Although, like, again, in this scene, like, his dialogue is so over the top.
Oh, my aching head. Those wretched thugs.
Wretched thugs.
I swear these insane murderers are gonna pay for this.
He's quite the wordsmith, isn't it?
Everything I had.
Oh, they took our inventory! Those bastards!
Piece of amber. Everything. I'll try to get my stuff back. But the first thing I've got to do is find out what they've done with Gina and try to get out of this huge mess in one piece.
Alright, so he's gonna take a look at, through the crack in the door. And we're gonna get a little penny shot, actually, of Gina.
You need a manicure, doll? Hold on. I'll go look for some pliers.
Tell the Andrettis they have nothing to worry about, because I don't plan on mentioning what happened in the storeroom at the club.
Oh, that dialect's actually
I value
different.
my life too much.
I have to help Gina.
So she actually says multiple things. We'll have to check that out next time. But now, we'll end it here. So, see you on the next part. Bye-bye.